All right, today we're diving into a story that's right on the edge of science, philosophy, and maybe even horror. It all starts with a single tiny number that doesn't add up, and it ends by calling everything we think we know into question.
It sounds like something straight out of a movie, right? But believe it or not, it's a question some scientists are now being forced to ask. What if the very foundation of our universe, the rules we thought were absolute, what if they had a fundamental error, a bug?
So, where does a story like this even begin? Well, it doesn't start in a lab with bubbling test tubes. It starts with the silent digital hum of a supercomputer, chewing on signals from the deepest, oldest parts of space.
Okay, so picture this. An incredibly advanced AI has been given one of the biggest jobs in all of cosmology. It's sifting through the echoes of the Big Bang, that faint radiation that fills the entire universe. It's looking for patterns, clues about how it all started. But it found something else. Something that, according to all our laws of physics, simply shouldn't exist.
Buried deep inside all that cosmic noise, the AI flags this persistent little anomaly. Now, this wasn't just a random bit of static or a problem with a sensor. No, this was a consistent, repeating mathematical flaw. And the craziest part? It was embedded in the very numbers that define our reality, the universal constants.
And I really can't overstate how big of a deal this is. These aren't just any numbers. We're talking about the speed of light, the gravitational constant. These are the pillars holding up our reality. They're supposed to be perfect, unchanging, immutable. Finding a flaw here would be like discovering the number pi suddenly has a different value on weekends. It's impossible. It shouldn't happen.
That's how one physicist described it. And it's just perfect. It captures that initial wave of absolute panic and disbelief that just ripped through the scientific community. The discovery was so fundamentally wrong, so against everything we know, that it sent shockwaves right through the foundations of physics.
So what on earth do you do with a piece of data that's impossible? You try to explain it. And that very effort has basically split the scientific world right down the middle.
And this is the fundamental question, isn't it? Did we just stumble upon a whole new, deeper layer of physics that we never even dreamed of? Or did we just find the first loose thread that could unravel everything we perceive as real?
Okay, let's start with the first idea. This is the more, let's call it the conservative theory, the one that lets scientists sleep at night, even if it means we have to rewrite every single textbook.
This argument is pretty straightforward. Our science isn't wrong, it's just incomplete. Think about how Mercury's weird orbit didn't fit with Newtonian physics. For decades, it looked like a flaw in the universe. But it wasn't an error. It was actually a clue that led us to Einstein's theory of relativity. So the people who support this view believe this error is just that, a clue pointing to a deeper, undiscovered law of nature. Yeah, it's a paradigm-shifting discovery for sure, but one that keeps our universe a natural physical place.
But then there's the other theory, the one that didn't come from human scientists, but from the AI that found the problem in the first place. And it's a lot more radical, and frankly, a lot more terrifying.
This was the truly shocking part. After analyzing the flaw over and over again, the AI reported that the error's signature, its mathematical structure, it didn't match any known or even theoretical natural phenomenon. It looked artificial. It looked exactly like a rounding error in a piece of software.
The best way to get your head around this is the video game analogy. Imagine you're playing some huge open-world game. The physics feel real, right? But every now and then, you see something weird. A character walks through a solid wall, or a car suddenly launches into the sky for no reason. That's a bug. It's the game's code failing in a way that breaks its own rules.
And this is exactly the AI's point. The tiny, constant error in the universal constants doesn't behave like some new, elegant law of physics. No, it behaves like a messy, clumsy glitch, a flaw in the code of a program so huge, so complex, that we just call it the universe.
If that's true, if the bug theory is correct, then the implications are they're almost too big to even think about. It literally changes everything.
So these two theories present us with two wildly different futures. On one hand, you've got a challenge for science. The universe is bigger and weirder than we ever imagined. And that's exciting. But on the other hand, you have a challenge for our very existence. Our reality is a construct, an illusion. And that's not exciting. That is absolutely terrifying.
At this point, it's no longer a question of physics. It becomes a question of philosophy, of identity, of
purpose. If we are living inside some kind of program, what does that make us?
Suddenly, every choice you've ever made is up for debate. Was it really your choice or just part of a script? What's the goal of this experiment? And here's the most chilling question of all. If there's a bug, can the whole system crash? Can someone or something just turn it off?
So we end with those words from the very source that started this whole thing. A simple conclusion from an AI that has potentially revealed that our universe isn't a universe at all, but a piece of software. And it leaves us with one final, deeply unsettling thought. If we just found a bug in the code, who are the programmers?